Hello, everyone, and welcome to Judy's Creations in Crochet. And today is July the 1st, 2024. And before I forget, I want to wish a happy Canada Day to all my fellow Canadians. This is the day we celebrate the birth of our nation. So I hope you're enjoying a great holiday weekend. Um, it is a bit humid and it was rainy and the weather is up and down here, but we're happy to have summer, that's for sure. For those of you that are happening upon me for the first time, the first of the month is always a very special episode. We have a monthly mal that people participate in. They send me pictures of what they've made for the month based on a tropical bird that I show, and I will be doing that later in this episode. And then I do a slideshow. So today is a slideshow of all of the items that people have submitted to me. So we are going to get into that very, very quickly. But I first want to welcome everybody, both new and returning viewers. I'm always happy to see all of you. And I have to make one comment. Normally this is a regular video comment, but I'm going to make it today because I'm in such amazement. I'm taping on the weekend, as you can probably guess, and I had my regular video come up on Thursday. And I have to be guessing that YouTube does funny things now and then, and somehow they must promote different channels at different times, because within 24 hours of my video dropping this week on Thursday, as it always does, by the next day I had 1,000 views to my channel, and I had added 40 new subscribers. Now that never happens to me in one day. And in 2 days, in 48 hours, I had, I believe it was 1.4, was it 1,300 or 1,400 views and over 50 new subscribers. It's slowing down now, but I guess for that one 24-hour period or a little bit longer, somehow YouTube was promoting my channel. Thank you very much, YouTube. I'm happy to know that. And there have been no ads in my videos. I guess that was a unique experience that I had as well. So I'm thankful that that's the case. So there could be quite a few new watchers out there. And I am really, really happy to have so many new viewers. And if all goes well, by my podiversary, maybe sooner, we will hit the 1,500 mark for subscribers. And those of you that are new, I really would appreciate a thumbs up, and I do love to get comments. I do respond to every single comment. So please leave me a comment. Tell me a little something about yourself if you're new, and let me know what you like about the channel. So today, let's get started with business. First of all, I did show this last Thursday, but I will show it again, as today is the end of the month of making items for June. Once again, I will put the picture up in one of these two corners, whichever one it fits best. And I will show you the item I made. The pattern is called 1,000 Kisses. The yarn was from Cozy, C-O-S-I. I've only ever had something from them the one time. There is sparkle in this. Maybe you can see the sparkle just a little bit. As you know, I love sparkle. And this is a boomerang style scarf, I guess you would call it. I'm going to post a few pictures while I'm talking that show it around the neck in a few different ways. And this is a one skein project by CJ Brady. And if you hang around here for very long, you'll know I'm quite a fan of CJ Brady's, and I even did a focus on her back quite a while ago now. But if you're interested in hearing about her, you can check back in my old videos and see more about CJ Brady. Okay, so that's the item I made for the month. It's time to see the items that you have made this month. And once again, I'm going to flash the pictures right across the screen in front of me. You don't need to be looking at this mug the whole time. And tell you about the various projects that I've received. So we're going to start with this dishcloth from Tammy. And she says the picture doesn't show the fact that it is an aqua color. Next, we have Deb from Arizona, and Deb has done a summer hat. She says it's a tutorial by Heather at Strings and Threads. I have to guess that must be on YouTube. Then Rebecca from Mississippi has sent this crescent crocus shawl. She says it is a pattern by Fiber Spider. As you know, I do quite a number of his shawls. Then Diane, who is in Manitoba, has done these cute little bird mittens. She makes quite a few mittens for her markets. They are her own design, and then she adds the extra to make it into, in this case, birds, but she makes them into cats and dogs and lots of other animals. Then we have Bonnie from Pennsylvania, and she has done this shell shawl by Jonah Martinez, who is on YouTube. Melissa from Pennsylvania has done the cloister shell shawl, again a pattern by Fiber Spider. Debbie P. from Arizona has done a shawl basically of her own design, she says. And Tina from Australia, where it's quite cold right now, did this hot water bottle cover. And it is by Emma Ward, and it is a free pattern on Ravelry. So I guess where she is, this would come in handy right now. We certainly don't need it up here. And that's the first time we've had such an item done for us. Then Lisa S., who is in Ontario, has done a hat and a cowl. And the hat, she says, is the Easy Knit Rib, a pattern from Yarnspirations. And the cowl is the Bandito cowl by Chris Basta. And Sherry has done 2 items. She has done this Hexie cardigan, very common item, but you see that she has added a collar to hers. And then she did this top for her granddaughter, which is called the Rain Lily halter top. Then Denise, who I'm hoping is from Minnesota, and she has done, again, hats and scarves of her own design, and this is a monthly thing from her that's going in the donation box. And before I go on, I really want to thank those of you that month after month continue to tell me where you are from, because you know, I don't always remember. Some of them I know. I've known you long enough to remember, but most of the time, I have a hard time remembering. So if you don't tell me, I can't say. Now, Judy T., who is also here in Ontario, has done again her monthly Serendipity Square, and these are by These are by Loopy Stitch. She showed me a picture of the 6 of them so far. Going to be awesome at the end of the year. And then she's also this month done a shawl by Ursula Wood called Count Your Blessings Shawl, one that's on my to-do list. And she said, and please meet Mickey. He had to get into the picture. Debbie W., who is from California, has made these cloudburst fingerless gloves. And the pattern is by Ariane Gray. Now, Vicki, who I think might be new this month, and she's from California also, has submitted what she calls a kitchen trio. The dish towel is from a book called Crochet Southwest Spirit, and it is by Susan Kennedy. Hard to read my writing there. She says the dishcloth is just a smaller version of the tea towel or the dish towel, and then there's a scrubby, and that's from the Red Heart label. Ellen comes to us from Illinois, and she has done also a basic granny hexie cardigan, and added to that is a lacy bandana, which is a Bag O' Day pattern by Crystal. I'm sure we all know Bag O' Day. Next, Josephine, who is from North Carolina, has done these leaf coasters. The pattern is by Catherine Late. Then she also has added some kitchen scrubbies and a market bag. And this is a pattern from Pamela's Adoring Crochet. And she's on YouTube. Lori from PEI in Canada has done this workday scarf. And the pattern is by Sue Flanders. Christine, who is from Kentucky, has sent in, once again, her Willow Granny Squares. She's working on a set, as we have quite a few people working on Granny Squares for the year. So I'm really looking forward to seeing all of these at the end of the year. She says this Willow Granny Square is done by a YouTube channel called Adore Kriya Crochet. I'm not really sure if I say that correctly. Then Bonnie B., who is from here in Chatham, has submitted this shawl. I believe it's her own creation. It really, really reminds me of one of my favorites from Fiber Spider, the Granny Merge shawl. It looks a lot like it. Now Adam, who is from the UK, first finished a shawl early in the month. Now, we can't see the entire shawl, but it really reminds me of the reading shawl, what we can see of it. Then he has done 3 cowls, and they are crocheted with a pattern from Gigi, who is on YouTube. But he said he changed the ribbing on a couple. He said the ribbing took him as long as the cowl. And finally, his monthly granny square, because he is putting together a blanket at the year end. Next, we have Rachel. Again, I'm thinking Rachel, this is her first time, and she's from Michigan. And she submitted this scarf, cowl, you never know what to call those small neck pieces. And this is a pattern from Hooked by Robin. Then Carol Ann from Kansas has submitted this tank top, and it is a pattern by MJ Off the Hook. And Lenan, who is from Florida, has actually done a Tunisian crochet pattern called Lamia Wrap. And this is a pattern by TL Yarn Crafts. That's Tony Lipsy. And Renee, who is from Alabama, has done this baby blanket. And this pattern is by Sasha Patterns. Then Barbara M., who is from Alberta, has done two projects, one crochet and one knit. The crochet is a granny shawl by Charlene Vandenbrand. It is a slightly different shape, not so deep and a little bit wider. And then she did a knit scarf. She says she hasn't knit in a while. And it's an asymmetrical scarf by Joanne Threadhead. That must be a company name. And she says she remembers now why she prefers to crochet. And then we have Cheryl. I don't know if this is the same Cheryl as usual. She's from Oregon. And she has submitted this Junie the Giraffe. It comes from a magazine called Amigurumi Today, or a book, something called Amigurumi Today. And she says, Junie the Giraffe is showing his love for my Mal. Thank you for that. And Judith from California has also done an amigurumi, and this is a loaf cat. Susan, who is from New Jersey, has submitted her June granny squares, and she gets these squares from Jada in Stitches, who is doing a calendar blanket this year. I think every month the squares are something different. Barbara B. from Missouri has submitted this knit cowl for beginners, and it comes from a YouTube channel called Blue Mouse Knits. And Joan from Arizona says this is her very first knitted wearable, and it's called the Sophie Scarf by Petite Knits. And she also tried her hand, I guess for the first time, at dyeing. So she's tried the dye to match our inspiration, and she says these two hanks are bamboo and cotton. So she came up with two different hanks of yarn for our month. Next we have, it's a little hard to read some of my notes. Next we have Maria from Massachusetts, and she has done triple leaf. This triple leaf pattern, she learned the triple leaf stitch, I guess, at some point, and decided to put it to use in these two cowls. Now, one was submitted for this month, but she showed me another one, so I put them both in. We have an extra one. And Meredith from Ohio has again done her square for the month. 6-day granny square by Betty McKnit. And once again, she was trying to do a pet blanket as she has done in the past, but she says she didn't get anywhere near done. Carmen from California has done this shawl called Sunset Beach Shawl by Hannah of Cozy Cottage Crochet. I have another note there, but I can't. Oh, it's in Ravelry. And the hat is On My Track beanie, and it's a beanie by Crystal of Bag O' Day. And Nina, also from Massachusetts, has done this anniversary scarf. And this is a pattern by Nastasia, who again is on YouTube. And Lillian, who is in Ontario, has done 4 squares again this month. It'll be interesting to see how all of these colors work up together in the final blankets that everybody is doing. Raylene from Southern Australia has followed this tutorial called How to Crochet the Classic Faroese, Faroese shawl. And I guess this is on YouTube, brought to you by the Stitch Sessions. And she apologizes again. She's still having camera problems, so the picture is blurry. And Vida, who is from India, has made this knit top with all these cables in it. And HD, again, something different. She has submitted this mini dress keychain. We have not ever had a keychain that I can recall. And that's a cute little mini dress. And Lisa from Alberta, she has done what kind of looked like a coaster. She says it is a cup holder, but it does serve multiple purposes. And Donna, who is from Ontario, near Ottawa, our nation's capital, has submitted this shawl that is called A Paris Night. And moving on, Judy C., also in Ontario, has done this baby blanket. And it was a YouTube tutorial where she was learning how to do the houndstooth stitch. And Kathy, also in Ontario, they probably live fairly close to each other. Kathy has done this blanket, and it is a knit blanket, and it is called the Garter Rib Baby Blanket, and it's by Orange Flower. Then Cindy, who is in Costa Rica, has done this shawl. She said it was made from a yarn that I had sent her. The pattern is from EFA. It's a fairly recent release of one of the free patterns called Electrona. The last couple of, well, this past weekend was different, but the last 2 prior free patterns from EFA have been shawls, both of which I really want to make. And last of all, Naomi from Washington has sent this shawl, and she said it is based on, so I have to guess she's made her own modifications. It's based on the Summer Mesh Shawl by Crystal again at Bag O' Day. So that brings us to the end of all the submissions, and we had 44. I was surprised because when I put out the word last week or earlier in the week that I didn't have very many, I was at something like 20, maybe 24, and then all of a sudden they all came in the last about five days. So we're up to 44. That's still great. I'm really happy we're getting over 40 regularly. I think one day we will make it to 50. I think it would be a really nice level goal to hit in September. Being September is my podiversary for those that are new here. And we do things up kind of big in September because we're celebrating both my birthday and the channel's anniversary. So I do a lot of celebrating the whole month. And I think it would be pretty neat if by the end of September we could maybe hit 50. If everybody that has submitted in the past were to submit all in the same month, we'd be well over 50. I know that. But anyway, that's still a very good turnout. So I'm very, very pleased with that. And for those that are new, let me just tell you a little bit about what's going on here. They see a picture, which I'm going to show you very shortly. And they look at the picture and the colors. The picture is supposed to give you the inspiration for the color of the item you make. And then you can make any item you want. As you can see, there was a very wide variety of items that came in today, for today. And you can knit, you can crochet, you can do Tunisian crochet, you can weave. As you saw, somebody dyed yarn. You can, what else do you use yarn for? I mean, you could do needlepoint, that uses yarn. There are other things. You could spin something, whatever. Using yarn, you make whatever you want. And you submit the picture to me. And it has to be to me by the date. I will talk about dates in a minute. And when you send the picture to me at my email address, which is in the description box, but it's judyscreations21@gmail.com. You submit the picture to me, of course, with your name. I like to know a little something about it. So if you tell me what it is, what pattern it is, who the designer is, that kind of thing, so I can share it with those watching. And I like to know where you are from. I think it's very interesting to see who's out there in the world following this and submitting things to this monthly MAL. And if you wish, if you go on Instagram and you wish to post there, that's great. Again, the hashtag is in my description box, but it's hashtag Judy's MAL 2024. So here's the next step everybody is waiting for, I know, and that is this. I put everybody's, some people have told me not to, but otherwise I put everybody's name on this wheel. I know you can't read all the names. I'll bring it up close enough and it's too foggy. But I will spin the wheel and I will wait for it to stop, and then it'll tell us who the winner is, and I'll read it to you. And that person is going to get, I'll show it better in a minute, a cake of gradient yarn. So let's get ready and spin. Renee is our winner. Congratulations, Renee. Have you ever won this spin of the draw? I'm not sure if you ever have. I think you won some yarn once, but I don't think you've won this spin of the wheel. So, Renee, I do have your address. I will get this in the mail. We have a holiday here, so it'll be Tuesday or Wednesday that it gets in the mail. And this is what you've gotten. It is a mill end, so it's a little shorter than usual, but not much. Yeah, I think it's 875 yards, and it is cotton and acrylic mix. And this would make a very classic item. It's definitely enough for a shawl, and which would go with anything. So Renee, I'll be getting that to you in the mail this coming week. Congratulations to you. How exciting. All right. The next thing we need to talk about is next month. So I know a lot of you just hardly can wait for the next month to arrive so you can see the next bird. So the first thing I'm going to do is put a picture up across the screen to show you the bird full screen. I let it sit there, so if you need to take a snapshot or whatever, you can do that, because I know a number of you, there are a number of you out there that have YouTube channels and like to show what you're working on, and you put up the picture of the bird and show the yarn that you're using. So here is the bird. So was that long enough to get a good snapshot? I'm hoping so. Now, the next thing I do generally is to show the yarn that I'm going to use. I think I even know the pattern I'm going to use this month. Just give me a minute. I want to find the bird picture so I can look at it myself. I haven't looked at it in a little while. Now I am, oh yes, there's the bird. Like I said, I went in my stash for every single month for this year. And I don't know how many of you remember, but I had an advent calendar from not this past Christmas, but the year before. A beautiful advent calendar, and I used half of it, the half of it that was purples into pink. But I still have the other half, and here they are. Now they're out of order because I picked them up. And I'm going to put the picture up here to show you the bird. And I thought that those dark blues, medium blues, and the green on his face, see, there's very, very dark in order. There's some very black and navy in here. And then it goes into the medium blues. I hope I have these in order. That are in his chest. And then it goes into the bright greens that are on the top of his head. And I thought this would be a super way to use up the rest of these minis. I think there are one or two that got into another project somewhere. I only have 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I only have 10, which means I have 870 yards because they're generally 87 yards. This was from Yarn Unique in the UK, and they feel really nice. And of course you can see all the sparkle. And I have in mind, I saw a pattern that, in fact, there are several of them out there. They start narrow, they get wide to the center, and then they narrow back out. This one was a little different stitch, I think. And I was going to do it, and then I thought, oh yeah, but do I want one end dark and the other end? So I think what I'm going to do, since they are 20 grams, and that's decent amount, 87 yards, I think I'm going to split them in two. And I think I'm going to, I don't know if I'll start in the middle with the green end or start in the middle with the blue, but I think I'm going to do this. Then I'll split it in half and do half on either side. And then I'll do the next one and do half on either side so that it works out a fade from the middle. I think that's what I'm going to do. So do I want blue in the center with a lot of green out the points, or do I want green in the center with a lot of blue out at the points? Be interesting. What do you think? anyhow, I am going to use these, and I am going to use them in some kind of scarf. I'm sure I have a couple of patterns that would work, but I saw one particularly that would fit this. So that's my plan for next month. And these feel really nice. I can hardly wait to work with them, which I'll be starting very, very soon, because I'm hoping I'm going to be finished my whip that I'm working on within the next couple of days. Okay, let's talk dates. That's the next thing. This is July the 1st, and it has to be done by the end of July, because August the 1st is a Thursday. And I've decided that on August the 1st, we're going to do this slideshow video, and we are also going to be doing stitch tutorial number 6. And we're going to do it all in one day. And if I have any other important business to tell you about, we'll do it that day too. So it may end up being an hour or longer video, but we're going to do it all in the same day. So because I need them for Thursday, I think I'm going to go with Sunday night. That seems to be a good time. People remember on the weekend. So July the 28th, that's a Sunday night, and I most of the time do pick the 28th. I need your pictures sent to me in my email by midnight of July the 28th, because on Monday morning I'm going to start. It takes me time to make up the whole list, and then more time to make the video. So and of course, you know, with running to the hospital regularly these days and my dance class and so on, Sunday, July the 28th is the deadline. Now, I always do a posting in Instagram showing the inspiration picture and so on. I will make sure I post the date there. People post in the community tab, and quite honestly, I haven't really figured this community tab out, and I don't know if people pay attention to it or not, but you know, it'll be in my description box down below, and it'll be on Instagram, so hopefully that will keep it in mind for you. July the 28th. So another month of the MAL, and I'm really pleased with the number of submissions, and I hope you like this next bird. It certainly gives you some leeway of colors there to work with, and I'll be back to you on Thursday. Thursday is the beginning of July. Thursday will be the second tutorial in the series of tutorials for our summer cow. For those that are new and not sure what's going on, tune in on Thursday and we will talk about that in depth. And of course, Thursday is also the beginning of Christmas in July. So we'll be opening some little packages of mini hanks. I'll be doing 3 each week. So, and I have no idea what they look like, so we'll be opening them together, so that'll be kind of fun. And it's the first week of the month, and that's when I do my stash down count for the past month. Not much to count down this month, but that's okay. Next month will be better. So anyway, I'm hoping you'll all be back to see me on Thursday when we start our Christmas in July. And until then, happy stitching.